Hello, everyone who attended the Wisconsin Broadcasting Institute event yesterday with me. Really appreciate the time, really appreciate the effort that you guys put in. I thought you were a fantastic group, lots of stimulating ideas and conversations. Now, when I present a lot of times in the workshop style manner, which is what I prefer to do, what'll often happen is we'll come up with some stream of consciousness ideas. And I know I shared a number of people, thought leaders, blogs, websites, videos, etc., that I thought were really salient to your group. And so I know everybody didn't have time to capture those. So in addition to this being a short thank you video, I just wanted to share a couple of the resources that I want you to check out. I'll include a text description with links down below, but wanted to throw out a couple of names. So the first one that I would start by checking out, and this is not in particular order, but it's in order, all of these resources are fantastic, is starting out with Mr. Chris Brogan. So Chris Brogan is one of the top business thought leaders. A lot of people will say he's a social media guy, but he really isn't. He's much more than that. But he really thinks about business and the business model, the business revenue, how we pull digital in as a part to connect with our core audience. And his blog is fantastic. He has a great Facebook page where he updates and does a lot of great interaction. Highly recommend you check him out and check out his books. The next is Marcus Sheridan. Marcus Sheridan is known as the sales line. Love both of these guys. Actually, all the people on this list are great people. But Marcus has been a great mentor and friend to me. He started a pool company back in the early 2000s, used digital marketing to help save that said pool company, and has become an incredible teacher of inbound marketing strategies. His blog, his podcasts, his videos are fantastic. I'm lucky to call him a friend. He's taught me so much and love what both of these guys talk about, business-driven revenue producing activities. Next up is Mark Schaefer. Mark is a brilliant guy, wrote a great book called The Content Code, which I talked about yesterday in the session. And the Content Code is really, he's the person who coined the term content shock. And that content shock really started the conversation about how do we stand out and get people to share and engage, which is a very deep, meaningful experience. His blog, Businesses Grow, was named, along with Chris Brogan's blog, by Forbes and Inc. magazine, top 20 blogs in the business blogs in the world to follow. I think part of the reason Marcus wasn't on there is because they don't know about him enough yet, because his stuff is fantastic as well. But the Content Code, both the book as well as Mark's blog, is outstanding material. Gary Vaynerchuk was another person I mentioned, and Gary is somebody who I think is a great role model for how to build the personality of a business and do the behind the scenes. Let people feel like they're a part of who you are, both as an individual and as an organization. So some of the tips that we talked about in the workshop yesterday. Gary's stuff is really good. The Ask Gary V show is a fantastic resource to pay attention to on a regular basis if you like video and audio consumption, which is my preferred method of getting info, just because it's quicker and easier. But I want to challenge you that if you look at Gary V's original video work from winelibrary.tv, you'll see he wasn't very good at the start. But what made Gary great today is he kept going. So we talked about that yesterday. You might not be great at the start. You might not be good at the start, but learn, adapt, and keep pushing. So he's a fantastic role model for that. Next up is Baer. Jay is a phenomenally brilliant guy as well. I mean, all these people on this list are just amazing teachers. But Jay has a number of resources that I highly recommend. One is Hug Your Haters. It's his new book that talks about how do you engage with the haters out there. But his previous book, Utility, I addressed a lot of the core principles that are talked about in that book of really knowing that 1,000 true fans, digging deep, getting to know them, and having them help amplify. And Jay's material is fantastic. He has two things that I rely on regularly: the Social Pros podcast, as well as his newsletter that he sends out where he summarizes the top 7 stories from the week and makes it quick and easy to know what's on his radar and what you should pay attention to. Last but not least, I mentioned Simon Sinek. If you do anything, make sure you watch Simon Sinek's 18-minute TED Talk video, Start With Why. It is profound. It is clear. It is fantastic. And really what that video is about, in my opinion, is the core issues we talked about yesterday, which is how do you get your audience to care? And you do that by getting to understand why you care, why something is important, why you exist, why you do what you do. And there's a lot more detail in that video. I watch that video at least once a month. I'll play it in the background as I'm working on things. And then his book, Start With Why, is fantastic. Leaders Eat Last is a fantastic management book. I would have all of my management staff read the book about Leaders Eat Last. It'll totally transform your organization. So that is a excellent resource as well. So again, all of this is down below the video, but I just wanted to share it with you so that if you want to follow up on anything, you can. If you want to follow up with me, you've got my contact information. Reach out to me via the web, this video, whatever. My passion is to help businesses, individuals, and organizations understand how to embrace this to grow their business. Whether I come on site and do workshops, or you use my free materials, or we do coaching, that's really my goal. So if I can help you guys out in any way, please let me know. Thank you again so much for your attention, your time, and your energy yesterday. I absolutely had a blast. Here's to creating big things for you and your brands.